The offseason news, it just keeps coming. Yesterday we had Pierre Maguire being hired by the Ottawa Senators, and then of course the Duncan Keith trade, and now today we have a couple of more interesting things to talk about. First, we'll start off with Pekka Rinne, goaltender for the Nashville Predators, who was set to become an unrestricted free agent this offseason, has announced his retirement. I think this is the right move by Pekka Rinne. He's 38 years old now. He's coming off of back-to-back seasons in which he didn't look the greatest. I would say this is the right time to call it a career, and what a career it was. By far the best goaltender in the history of the Nashville Predators franchise. There really isn't anyone else in that conversation with him. 683 games played, 369 wins, 60 shutouts, a goal, which is a pretty sick thing to have on your resume if you're a goalie. He also won a Vezina trophy in 2018. Just overall unbelievable career, and a question that I've already seen asked multiple times since Rinne announced his retirement this morning: is he a Hall of Famer? If I had to make a prediction, I don't think he gets in, but you can definitely make an argument. He's top 20 all time in wins and shutouts. He has that Vezina trophy. He's also performed very well throughout his career on the international stage, and it is the Hockey Hall of Fame, not just the NHL Hall of Fame. But nonetheless, whether he gets in or not, it doesn't take away from the fact that he has had an incredible career, so congratulations to Pekka Rinne on his retirement. Now getting to the news that really shocked the hockey world. I was very surprised by this. Remember back in July of 2012 when the Minnesota Wild signed Zach Parise and Ryan Suter to matching 13-year, $98 million contracts over a $7.5 million AAV, and obviously now in 2021 both of those players are well past their prime, but both still had 4 years left on their contracts. However, today the Minnesota Wild decided to not only buy one of the contracts but buy out both of these guys on the same day. Now, it's not shocking in the sense that the Minnesota Wild are getting rid of Zach Parise and Ryan Suter. Like I said, those players are both well past their prime. It's shocking in the sense that these are both massive buyouts. Usually we do not see teams buy out contracts this large with that amount of time left on them unless it's a compliance buyout. We saw a lot of those after the lockout, so it's extremely shocking that the Minnesota Wild bought out not one massive contract but two on the same day. Now, in doing this, the Minnesota Wild are definitely saving cap space in the immediate future. Thanks to Cap Friendly, here's what the buyouts look like, what the cap penalty is year by year. The upcoming 2021-2022 season, the total cap hit savings due to these buyouts for the Minnesota Wild is over $10.3 million. So like I said, in the immediate future they are saving a lot of cap space, but after that it gets pretty dicey. Look at the dead cap hit for the next 3 seasons after this upcoming season. 2022-23, a dead cap hit of over $12.7 million, and then the 2 seasons after that, a dead cap hit of over $14.7 million. That is insane. And what the dead cap hit means, it's pretty simple. It's just literally dead cap space. It's what's counting against the cap from these buyouts. It's cap space that you just can't use. Now, as you can see, the final 4 years of this buyout, it definitely gets a lot easier with the dead cap hit only being $1.666 million, but man, from 2022 to 2025, that is a crazy amount of dead cap space. That all being said though, I do agree with this move by Bill Guerin. I mean, he's a smart general manager. He's made some really good moves since taking over as GM of the Wild. Obviously, he believes the Wild won't need that cap space in those 3 seasons, and something that these buyouts are really going to help with in the immediate future is the expansion draft. No longer having Zach Parise and Ryan Suter on the roster makes things so much easier for Bill Guerin, and you might be thinking, how so? Couldn't he just leave them unprotected? Well, one of the rules of the expansion draft is players with a no movement clause have to be protected unless the player is willing to waive that no move clause to be left unprotected, and both Ryan Suter and Zach Parise had no move clauses in their contract, and say for an example neither of them were willing to waive it to be left unprotected, that would have put the Wild in a very difficult spot, potentially having to leave one of Marcus Foligno, Jordan Greenway, or even Matt Dumba unprotected. And now without Ryan Suter, they can easily go with the 7 forwards, 3 defensemen, and 1 goalie format. The defensemen they'll protect will be Spurgeon, Brodin, and Dumba, and then they can choose 7 of their forwards to protect. Now, although these buyouts definitely makes the expansion draft for Bill Guerin a lot easier, he still does have a tough decision to make, and that is in goal. Is he going to protect Cam Talbot or the younger Kaapo Kähkönen? Obviously, Cam Talbot just had an incredible season, and right now he is the better goaltender than Kaapo Kähkönen, but he's also 10 years older than Kaapo Kähkönen, so that's definitely going to come into play, I think. That is going to do it for today's news video. I'm very curious to hear what you guys have to say about what went down today. Do you think Pekka Rinne has any chance of being inducted into the Hockey Hall of Fame one day? And also, do you think buying out both Ryan Suter and Zach Parise's contracts was a good move by Bill Guerin and the Minnesota Wild?